Have you ever had somebody tell you to calm down when you were upset? Um, what not to say to someone with anxiety and what to say instead. Here's why you shouldn't say calm down to someone with anxiety and what you can say instead to let them know you care and want to help. It's helpful to let a person with anxiety know that you're there for them in a non judgmental way. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental health conditions in America. Nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults will experience one in a given year. If you've never experienced clinical anxiety, that is anxiety that goes beyond a healthy response to a stressor, it can be hard to understand someone who is experiencing it. Occasional occasional jitters or worries are a normal part of life. The difference with an anxiety disorder is that the person experiences symptoms often for an extended period, and those symptoms cause significant distress. Symptoms vary from person to person and across anxiety conditions and can include difficulty managing feelings of anxiety, fatigue, trouble concentrating, headaches, muscle aches, or pains with no other apparent cause, irritability, panic attacks, periods of intense and sudden fear or feeling a loss of control despite no clear imminent danger, often feeling restless or on edge, sleeping problems, sweating, trembling, or racing heartbeat, feelings of self consciousness or fear of others' negative judgment. I have so many of these that I thought this would be a good article to read. Um, Even though you might not understand everything someone with anxiety is going through, you can provide reassurance and help ease their angst. But even with the best of intentions, it's not uncommon to inadvertently say or do things that hurt more than help. Your words have the power to help or hurt someone with this condition. Knowing the right things to say to a person who sorry, has an anxiety disorder can make a huge difference to the person who is struggling. So, what shouldn't you say to someone with anxiety? And just as important, what can you say to be helpful? Expert advise avoiding these 4 phrases. 1. Calm down. You just want to, yeah. More often than not, this all too common phrase comes across as condescending. If the person experiencing anxiety could calm down at that moment, they'd simply do it. That's absolutely true. The phrase calm down implies that your friend or loved one is choosing not to be calm, or that they're choosing to feel anxious, when in reality, their condition makes it extremely difficult for them to feel calm. As a result, this phrase can cause them to feel ashamed, powerless, alone, and much less calm. Try instead gently offer support without judgment, and use phrases such as, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen if you want to talk. I'll stay with you if you'd like. Number 2, be more present. Many people with anxiety disorders have anticipatory anxiety, meaning they worry intensely about things that haven't happened yet but might happen in the future. Asking your loved one to just be present in the moment would be the same as asking them to wave a magic wand and have their anxiety disappear. Try instead. Ask them what's currently causing them their greatest worry. If they rattle off a list of several things, suggest suggestions asking them to focus on, that didn't make sense, asking them to focus on whatever is most pressing or fast approaching, and then offering to help them address their fears surrounding that thing first. Work with them to de escalate the situations that they have coming up right away, and do not try to tackle everything at once. If they're willing, I get ahead of myself. If they're willing, offer to help them practice staying within the present moment. One technique to try: ask them to choose something in their immediate surroundings to focus on. Then ask them to use their senses to describe what they see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. I was going to say that sounds like grounding. I've been there. This so called grounding technique helps distract them from their worries and pull them back into the present moment, which is much more helpful than just commanding them to be in the present. Alternatively, try walking them through a I can't say that, visualization exercise. I'm sorry. When I'm tired, I have a lot of trouble reading. A technique that encourage the mind and body to relax. To begin, ask them to close their eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then think of a happy memory, or imagine being in a serene place such as flower-filled meadow or a sunny beach. Encourage them to spend 5 or so minutes taking it all in before opening their eyes, as you continue to guide them through the visualization. There we go. That was like that one video that I couldn't say the word. 3. Quit overthinking. Similar to the phrase calm down, telling someone to stop overthinking implies that they're simply choosing not to control their anxiety. Now, I'm an overthinker, and asking me not to think, or somebody would say, "Oh, what's on your mind?" Well, I don't know what, there's so much. It's your mind is so jam packed with things. What do you want to know is easier than me picking something to tell you. So it's very hard. A lot of this anxiety thing that I'm reading here, this article, I can totally relate to. It's more difficult, I'm finding, than I give myself credit for. I just think of anxiety as one thing, and I'm actually learning from this, which is good. So we're learning together. I'll start over with quit overthinking. Similar to the phrase calm down, telling someone to stop overthinking implies that they're simply choosing not to control their anxiety. In truth, anxiety is a complex but treatable condition like diabetes. Okay, I thought diabetes would be a lot harder. In the same way, you'd never tell someone to just quit feeling the symptoms of diabetes, such as being thirsty or very tired. It's unhelpful to tell someone with an anxiety disorder to just stop feeling the symptoms of their condition. In fact, many people with anxiety are aware that their worries may be out of proportion to the situation at hand, and knowing that they can't control their reaction only makes them feel worse. When anxiety rears its head, it is vast. What's more, telling someone in the middle of an anxiety attack that what they're worried about is not a big deal, or they should stop overthinking, disregards their genuine distress. Try instead. Listen to their concerns and validate their feelings without trying to offer any solutions in the moment. You can say, "I can tell you're having a really hard time. You're safe, and I'm here to help you get through this." And 4, worrying won't change anything. I wish I could have told my grandma that. Um, when someone we care about is suffering, our instinct is to try and fix the situation for them. The trouble is that anxiety disorders don't typically have an easy fix because the anxious thoughts often aren't logical or are focused on the worst case scenario. Trying to soothe someone's anxiety by telling them their thoughts aren't productive, worthwhile, or that they're a waste of time also invalidates their feelings and may even leave them feeling more distressed than before. Try instead showing your loved one understanding, patience, and empathy can go a long way. If they've learned anything, if I've learned anything in my 30 years as a psychiatrist, that's the author, it's that our words have power. Egger explains. What a person with an anxiety disorder needs to hear is that you understand and that they're having a hard time and that you're there to support them. So let's say a family member or friend with anxiety is very distressed about a big presentation at work and convinced they'll fail. Reinforcing that it's okay to be anxious while reminding them of past successes, telling them, for example, it's perfectly normal to feel stressed, but I know you've worked hard to prepare for this and have already given great presentations in the past. Other helpful phrases you might say: do you know? Do you want to do something to take your mind off things? How can I help right now? Let's try to navigate this together. So that's an article that I found. I get a newsletter, quite a few, in my email every day, and I try to find articles that pertain to mental health. I mean, they're all about mental health, but ones that I can relate to so I can put my own thoughts and judgments, not really judgments, my own thoughts and my own feelings into. And this article really hit home because some of the things they talked about I thought was other issues that I have, trauma and things like that. But here, I guess it's just anxiety. I shouldn't just say just anxiety, but I can relate to that. And if this article can help you relate, maybe then you can help yourself cope with the anxiety. Or if you know somebody who has anxiety, maybe you can help them cope. So if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and I really would appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.